The strongest dragon slayer of today got captured by this haughty dragon queen. But this hero had a trick up his sleeve and used his secret curse technique on her in order to get free. However, this technique had a negative effect on her, making her super horny and thirsty for his huge meat. And then plap plap plap. Well, let's just say the dragon queen thoroughly enjoyed herself. This baddie squeezed him so dry that he had to sleep for the whole 2 years, and when he woke up, he found a little girl with a tail next to his bed. Deep within the dragon territory's prison, a captured dragon slayer awaits his fate. The silver dragon queen, Rosweiss, orders her guards to leave, desiring a private conversation with the hero. Standing in front of him, she inquires about the hero's feelings as a prisoner of the dragon clan. However, the hero, weary of suffering, pleads for a swift, merciful death. Rosweiss, with a cruel smile, denies his request, promising a torturous end instead. She lightly scratches his cheek with her nail, remarking that a few more scars would perfectly complement his handsome face. He urges her to quickly end his life, unable to endure further humiliation. She tastes his blood and offers him a twisted bargain: join the dragon clan and serve them for eternity. He smirks, daring her. "Are you worthy?" Enraged by his insolence, she hurls him against the wall and steps on him, reminding him of his precarious position, being at the hand of the Dragon Clan. She taunts him, stating that Leon, the once celebrated hero of humanity, is now at her mercy. His dream of defeating the Dragon Clan will forever remain unfulfilled. He could have had the opportunity to let his descendants enjoy wealth and glory, but he doesn't have any successors, so he won't have such a day. She mocks his lack of heirs, denying him the chance to pass on his legacy. Undeterred, he warns her not to underestimate humanity. She seizes him by the neck with her tail, demanding his surrender. Instead of begging, he points out her fatal 2 mistakes. Number 1 is underestimating him, the most powerful dragon slayer of this era, and number 2 is tasting his blood. The hero activates his secret blood curse technique, weakening her. She feels her body heating up, making her fall to the ground. She is confused by this weird feeling of arousal. "Your Majesty, you will soon suffer the torment of a cursed soul," he declares. Yet, her cheeks flush red as her arousal meter rises up. She can't hold it anymore. Suddenly, she lunges, pinning him beneath her, her big milk fountains pressing against his chest. Dumbfounded, seeing her thirsty face, he realizes she's experiencing arousal. Rosweiss leans in, her eyes filled with desire, and kisses him passionately. For the next hour, she jumps so much on his mayonnaise pipe that his brain gets numb, making him unable to think straight. He's supposed to slay the dragon, not lay the dragon. The curse's effects begin to fade. As she regains her senses, she demands to know what he did to her. So he reveals that this blood curse is a forbidden secret technique that creates connection between souls, and it can only be used one time. This technique only affects the person that drinks his blood. When he dies, the curse will put her in endless pain. However, she doesn't get his nonsense since that curse only takes effect after he dies. So now she wants to know what made her do that embarrassing act earlier. The hero says that it was an accident, and it was the side effect of the forbidden technique which he doesn't know about until now. She remains embarrassed by the incident. Seeking retribution for her earlier humiliation, he exploits the Dragon Clan's tradition of monogamy. He declares that as her dungeon down there has been used by him, a human and Dragon Nation's enemy, she can no longer marry, ensuring she will have no heirs and live a life of shame. Enraged, she lunges at him, claws raised but hesitant to kill. But the hero tells her that she doesn't have to kill him as he will soon die. As the hero slowly falls near death, he utters his final words, a chilling curse. "Live with hatred for me and pain throughout your life. This is my curse upon you as a human." Rosweiss puts his clothes on, and we can see Leon lying on the floor. She says how despicable it is for a human to take revenge on her like this, and then wants to die. "This can't be cheap," Rosweiss says. With that, she uses some kind of magical seal on him. Leon, once a legendary dragon-slaying hero, displayed exceptional courage from a young age. At 5, he fearlessly subdued a vicious dog with his bare hands, rescuing a terrified little girl. This act of bravery was witnessed by a renowned dragon slayer who immediately recognized Leon's potential and took him on as an apprentice. At 10, Leon entered the prestigious Dragon Slayer Academy, graduating 4 years later with the highest score in history. a remarkable achievement for someone so young. At 15, Leon embarked on his first dragon-slaying campaign, proving his valor on the battlefield. He slew countless dragons, achieved numerous victories for the Empire, and reclaimed vast territories. Leon became a symbol of hope, the invincible warrior who would lead the Empire to triumph and finally end the devastating war between humans and dragons. However, this beacon of hope was extinguished when Leon was captured by a formidable dragon clan. 2 years have passed since his captivity. Now, he awakens from his prolonged slumber. Panting heavily, he disorients himself, desperately trying to understand his surroundings. Suddenly, the door opens, revealing a small girl. "You're awake!" she exclaims. Leon is momentarily stunned by her cuteness. He assumes he must be in some celestial realm, and this adorable creature is an angel. "What's an angel?" she asks, tilting her head in confusion. Ignoring her question, Leon inquires, "What's your name?" "Muin," she replies with a joyful grin. Leon observes her with growing curiosity. She has a mixed hair color of black and white, which Leon finds weird. "My mother said Muin means moon," she explains. Leon's confusion deepens. "Angels have mothers?" he mutters to himself. "My name is Leon Cosmode," he states, attempting to regain his composure. "Leon means lion," she says, as if it were common knowledge. "How do you know that?" he inquired. "My mom told me," she replies innocently. A chilling realization dawns on Leon. "Who is your mother?" he asks, his voice laced with apprehension. "Rosweiss," she replies as her eyes sparkling with delight. Leon freezes momentarily as he processes this situation. If Rosweiss is the mother, then it means he is the father. Bro thought he could escape child support, but he isn't. Panic rises within him as he realizes that he suddenly became a father. Mun is his child with Rosweiss. Suddenly, the door swings open again, and Rosweiss enters the room. Mun rushes towards her, exclaiming, "Mama, Daddy's awake!" Leon and Rosweiss lock eyes. "I was waiting for you to wake up," she says, a knowing glint in her eyes. Mun excitedly exclaimed, "Mom must be so happy to see him wake up, because she came to see him every day." Rosweiss nodded affirmatively, but Leon remained unconvinced. She gently patted Moon's head and instructed her to go play outside, saying she had something important to discuss with her father. As soon as Moon left, Rosweiss locked the door. "Is Moon really my daughter?" Leon asks. "What else? She's our biological daughter?" Rosweiss replies. Leon is bewildered. "Why did you give birth to my child? And why did you save me?" he questioned, to which she replies that she cannot just let him go that easily after what he did 2 years ago. But Leon said that if that were any other time, he would never touch her. Besides, they are different, and they could never coexist. Further, he says that he never wanted to have a baby with her, not even in his dream. Rosweiss realized that physical intimacy was a form of torture for him. To Leon's utter shock, Rosweiss grabbed his legs with her tail and pushed him back onto the bed. "What are you doing?" he demanded, confused. Ignoring his question, she climbed on top of him and began to tear off his clothes. "I want to carve my own dragon pattern onto you," she declared. "This dragon pattern will become your shame. It will mark you as my slave, forever bound to me." She paused, a chilling smile playing on her lips. Imagine the humans' reaction when they see the mark of a dragon on their hero. Will they still see you as a great hero, or merely a traitor who surrendered to the dragon clan? With those chilling words, she activated the dragon pattern. It began to glow, illuminating both the mark on her chest and the one now forming on his. Leon was horrified. "Why go to such extremes for revenge?" he asks. Rosweiss chuckled, a low, menacing sound. We get to know that the dragon race's concept of revenge has always been a difficult problem for human scientists to understand. Their revenge is an inhuman behavior that combines paranoia, extreme, and beyond human understanding. She wanted him to live the rest of his life in shame, eternally humiliated by her. To Leon's surprise, he began to feel an arousing sensation. For the Silver Dragon Queen, Rosweiss, it was an immense honor to enslave the strongest dragon slayer in human history. Also, the Silver Dragon Queen's closest partner in a sense. She holds his cheeks as she says they are going to start the deed. With this, she milked him dry until the last drop of his mayonnaise. After Rosweiss had her way with him, He had passed out from the intensity of the experience. Although this kind of revenge is absurd from a human's perspective, this is her revenge on the dragon slayer as a dragon. This is more like a reward than revenge. Lucky MF got a daughter with a hot wife. The next day, Leon wakes up with dark circles around his eyes. Leon is determined not to become her plaything. To him, last night was like hell, because all she wanted him to do was to move faster. She squeezed him for a whole day and night. And now his waist is killing him. Suddenly, he hears two maids gossiping about the Dragon Queen. They point out how happy the Dragon Queen is looking today, and they think it's due to her husband waking up from a 2-year-long slumber. Anyway, Leon takes a look at the entrance of the castle, and it seems 4 guards are guarding the gate, so getting out of here is impossible. However, Leon can't seem to understand why there are only a few guards compared to when he saw them 2 years ago. Suddenly, Leon notices something. There is a hole in the wall. There is a possibility that it can be a trap. However, he decides to go through it even if it is a trap, because he has to leave this place no matter what. As he crawls toward the hole, he thinks about the perverted mother dragon, Rosweiss. In his mind, he thinks that for now, Rosweiss can only have Moon for the time being. On the other hand, Moon notices her dead, and she informs her mother saying, "Mom, look, Dad is digging a dog hole." Rosweiss, who is in her swimsuit, already noticed this. "When will Mom go and fish him back?" Moon asks. Rosweiss, tapping her mouth, says to her that it is very rude to use the word fish it back to her father. Instead, she can say, catch him back. After some time, we can see Leon running through the jungle. After running so far, he is sure that the female dragon shouldn't be able to catch him. All of a sudden, he hears a sound of wind. Looking up, he sees Rosweiss in her dragon form. He instinctively runs as fast as he can, but she appears in front of him, saying, "It must be fun to play with me like this." She points out how escaping was so easy, and how there was a hole in the wall and a few guards at the entrance. Even if he knew it was a trap, he had no choice but to take it. With this, she asks what will happen if he returns to human territory, because he has that dragon mark on his chest. Because of it, the humans will not recognize him as the hero. If that is how it is, Leon will start his life as an ordinary person rather than being humiliated by her. Rosweiss flaps her wings as she says that he doesn't know how to appreciate her kindness. Suddenly, she takes him in the sky as he panickingly asks where she is taking her. "Since you want to go back so much, I will help you," Rosweiss says. 3 hours have passed, and they are currently near the Empire border city. All of a sudden, Rosweiss drops him from the sky, landing on trees, and finally dropping on the ground, hitting his back. It turns out that Leon is near a human city. Rosweiss confirms that this is the human empire. Being so close to the city, Rosweiss asks him if he feels that he can return to the human world by just stepping over it. However, she reminds him, "But Leon, you can't go back even if it seems close at hand." With this, the mark on her chest glows, as well as activating the mark on Leon's chest. It turns out when 2 people are connected with a dragon mark and one of them wants to make love with the other, the dragon mark will respond to both of the people. That's why the dragon mark glows up on him. Rosweiss gets super close to him as she touches his dragon mark. Rosweiss knows that this dragon mark is making his body hot, itching to get started and unable to bear the urge. With this, she asks, "Do you want to do it here?" She reveals the reason why she brought him here, and that is that she wants him to understand what shame is in front of his hometown while he gets dominated by her. However, Leon declares that he will not give up and lose faith in his own kind. When the right time comes, he will pay double for all the humiliation she has done. She smiles and lets him know that she will be waiting for him, dead or alive. The moon shines the brightest tonight, illuminating the sky. An ancient big tree with a vast amount of long branches that reach the sky highlights this scene. Fireflies twinkle like scattered jewels, illuminating the undergrowth with their ethereal glow. A gentle breeze whispers through the leaves, creating a soothing symphony. In this heavenly scene, we can see Rosweiss on the base of the tree. She is so beautiful, and we can see that she is putting on her clothes. She declares that she is very satisfied with his performance just now. On the other hand, Leon is crying. realizing that she just used him like a toy, making him completely dry. She gets near to him as she playfully suggests bringing him here to visit his hometown every month. Leon jumps out from her grasp as he gets it that she is a perverted female dragon who only thinks of draining him. She smiles, realizing that she has been seen through. With this, she brings out her wings saying, "Let's go home. Our daughter is waiting for us at home." However, Leon calls out to her as he lets her know that he would walk by himself rather than being carried by her like a prey. It took 3 hours at full speed to get here. So she reminds him of the obvious fact that it will take at least 10 days for a human to get to the dragon castle just by walking. But Leon, telling her not to underestimate humans, starts to walk right away. Now Rossweiss is eager to see how long he can last. After a while, we can see Leon panting, and it seems that he is already tired. Not to mention about the lovey-dovey moment, which made him half tired. Leon states that he isn't tired at all, but the only thing Rossweiss finds tough is his mouth. All of a sudden, they notice a group of soldiers passing by. Leon gets happy realizing that he can finally be free from Rossweiss. On the other hand, she gives off an angry face. That is when he realizes that if he calls for help, Rossweiss might kill them instantly. The group leader notices them, asking if they are lost. Leon, who doesn't want innocent people to get hurt, just says that they are only hanging out. But the leader reminds them that this forest is not a place to hang out at night. The leader gets down, stating that he is one of the leaders of the Dragon Slayer army. That is when he feels like he has seen Leon before somewhere. On the other hand, Rossweiss gets ready for attack. However, Leon grabs her hand, pulling her to him as he declares that they are just a couple, having some alone fun time in the jungle. The leader leaves after seeing the loving aura they are emitting. After they are out of sight, she asks Leon how long he intended to hug her. Realizing it, he lets her go. Rossweiss finds him smart for not asking for help from them, but he has to know his position. "Even though we have children, it doesn't mean that I'm your wife," she says. Leon replies that he never thought of her as his wife. With this, she decides to go home as their daughter is waiting. However, Leon suddenly feels pain in his hand, and he collapses on the ground. Rossweiss realizes that he fainted. Therefore, she turns into a dragon and carries him to the castle. The next day, Leon wakes up and Moon is beside him. However, he wonders how he got back here. Moon lets him know that her mother brought him back home. Hearing this, Leon gets disappointed, realizing that he got caught by her like a prey. That is when he notices bandages on his hand. Moon, with sparkling eyes, informs her dad that she was the one who bandaged it. Realizing how much Moon loves him, he pats her head as he exclaims how awesome she is. After that, he whispers to Moon that she must not grow up like her mother, although she is confused about this. It turns out Rossweiss was listening to their conversation unbeknownst to Leon. Rossweiss asks what's wrong with being the same as her, which scares him. He looks away as he states nothing. On the other hand, Moon's eyes sparkled as she was excited to show her mother the bandage she did on her dad's hand. Rossweiss just says that this is what she should do. Moon replies, "Yes, Mom." Leon finds Rossweiss to be a strict mother. Leon asks Moon to go hide in the garden, and he will come to find her. Now Moon is super happy finally being able to play with her dad. With this, Leon states that he is not like her mother and starts to count. Moon runs as fast as she can while asking her dad not to count fast. Now that Moon left, Leon wants to discuss with Rossweiss. It turns out he is bothered by her for being too hard on Moon. So, Rossweiss breaks it down that all dragons went through this, even including her. By being strict with children from a younger age can only make them into stronger warriors. Leon points out the fact that Moon is not fully dragon, and besides, she's super cute, and how can she be strict about something this cute? In response, Rossweiss says that cute is a derogatory word for dragons. That is when he, with the intention to anger her, says she is also very cute. Rossweiss, with dagger eyes, grabs him by the shirt, reminding him, "You are just a slave for me to vent my anger. Stop getting ahead of me." Anyway, she gets back to her normal state. She has some government work to do, therefore, she leaves the task of taking care of the children to him. After all, Moon really loves him. Leon goes to the garden, and all of a sudden, he notices a figure. Thinks to himself that Moon is still very naive for thinking she can't be found if she hides behind him. Therefore, Luen calls out to her, "Found you, Moon!" But we can see there is no reaction in her. This made him wonder if she was angry. So he apologizes for keeping her waiting, but she runs from him. Leon tries to stop her, but she is already out of sight, now left with the realization that it's really hard to predict the mood of a child. Now he realizes why Roswaise gave him the task to take care of children. However, we can see Moon behind Leon. All of a sudden, she hugs him, saying that she has finally caught her dad. Moon, "Didn't you just run past me?" Leon asks. Confused, she replies that she came out to look for Dad since Dad couldn't find Moon. This makes him wonder if he saw that wrong. Moon doesn't give him the time to think about that, as she starts to take her somewhere because she has something to show him. We can see that girl from before, who looks just like Moon, watching them from afar. Well, what the heck is going on here? Later, Moon takes him to the garden and we can see Leon sitting as Moon is drawing. Leon feels his heart getting healed as he watches his cute daughter drawing. Leon realizes that having a daughter is good. Moon excitedly runs toward his dad to show her the drawing. It turns out it's a family photo with Leon, Roswaise, and 2 children. Leon asks about why there are 2 kids, to which she replies that that's her sister. This surprised him. It turns out that he not only hit the target with 1 shot, but also hit it twice with 1 shot. Now he realizes that the girl he saw in the garden was her second daughter, and he thinks that she got angry because he called her by the wrong name. However, Moon lets him know that sister isn't angry, she is just a little shy when she sees Dad. Leon agrees since they haven't met each other yet, and he thinks to himself that it's all that Mother Dragon's fault. On the other hand, we can see Roswaise dealing with government affairs. Suddenly, Leon bursts open the door. She asks, "Where is Moon?" To which he replies that she went to play with her sister. Leon, stating how good she is at hidden things, asks when she is going to tell him that he has an older daughter. Roswaise just replies, "Don't you already know this by now?" Anyway, Leon thanks her for giving birth to his child, since giving birth to a child is hard work, although he didn't expect she would give birth to 2 children for him. Therefore, he comes to the conclusion that she has worked so hard for him. He also says that he will write her name in the family tree when he gets back to his hometown. This kinda makes her angry. However, she stands up and smilingly asks, "Oh, do you want to know why I didn't tell you about the existence of my eldest daughter?" Leon guesses that she must be jealous, seeing the closeness with Moon. That's why she deliberately didn't let Noah meet her father. Roswaise replies, "Are you so anxious to see her?" In return, Leon says, who doesn't want to meet their daughter? Besides, he is not a cold and stern mother, and all he wants to do is to cultivate a good relationship between father and daughter. Roswaise smiles as she says, "Okay, don't regret it." Now Leon is in the kitchen, dedicated to showing what he is capable of to Roswaise, and is locked in to cook delicious food for the children. So, Leon's first step to get closer to his elder daughter is to make delicious food for her. It turns out he is making a cream stew. Back in the day, he used to make this, and those who tasted it liked the taste. He goes on to taste it, and he is happy with the result he got. Now he is damn sure that taste will definitely win Noah over. We can see 2 maids are watching Leon cook. One of the maids with sparkling eyes says, "The prince just recovered from a serious illness, and he still cooks for his family." The maid also says, "He is really a good male dragon who really cares about his family." Suddenly, Roswaise appears with her children. Before entering the dining room, Roswaise orders the maid to rest today. Leon welcomes them, and Moon already notices the nice smell. Leon lets them know that he cooked their favorite stew and steak. As he looks at Noah, he just looks away, making him shocked. Well, this isn't the reaction he was expecting. Roswaise knew this kind of situation would happen. That is why she didn't tell him about Noah right away. Since this is Noah and Leon's first formal meeting, Roswaise tells her to introduce herself. "I am Noah, the eldest daughter of Silver Dragon Queen Roswaise. I am 1 year and 2 months old," Noah says. We get to know that baby dragons grow faster than human babies. So, the second step for Leon to get closer to his elder daughter is to say hello politely and leave a good impression. But Noah isn't impressed at all, making him wonder if she has a grudge against him. Moon comes to her whispering, "Sister, please talk more. Don't embarrass Dad." That is when Noah expresses her doubt if he really is their father since he looks so weak. This just stabs him in the heart. So Leon's career as a father faces his first crisis. Yes, I admit your father is weak, but that weak father hit 2 targets with 1 shot, lol. Also, your father is looking weak because your mother squeezes him like lemon every night and is the first in history to hit 2 stones with the silver dragon. Now the family is at the dinner table. The 2 daughters look similar, but their personalities are completely different. And it's obvious that Noah is more like her mother. Eager to know, Leon asks Noah if she likes the taste. Noah just replies, "Disgusting," which stabs right at his heart. Rosweiss laughs at this, which makes Moon ask her mother for the reason for her happiness. Well, Leon finally got to reunite with their family. So seeing Leon happy also makes Rosweiss happy. That is when Rosweiss asks him if she was right or not. We can see he kinda agrees with her. That is when Moon asks if he is going to have dinner with them every day. Leon doesn't want to eat with Rosweiss every day because she teases him a lot whenever she gets any chance. However, before Leon says anything, Noah just says no. Moon, who wants to know the reason, Noah reasons that she wants to study at the famous Dragon Academy. The Young Dragon Department of Saint Health Academy is full of 5-year-old kids. So Rosweiss wants to know why she is anxious to enroll. "Because I want to defeat more dragon slayers," she says, which makes Leon cough. Leon kinda gets that Noah wants to defeat him. Leon is worried that she will get hurt because she is so young. In return, Noah tells him not to treat her as a child, which makes him shocked. On the other hand, Rosweiss thinks the opposite. The sooner you learn the skill, the sooner you can fight the Dragon Slayer. "Isn't that right, Leon?" she asks. She further asks if he has any reason to stop Noah from going to school. Leon knows that if he continues to oppose it, Noah will definitely hate him more. So he agrees with it. Leon finally realizes that Rosweiss is using Noah to mentally attack him during this dinner. We can see fire rising up around Leon as he sets his mind to kick her ass later. Now Rosweiss declares that since it is decided and the test for the academy will be held in 1 month, her father will help him teach in the meantime. So, this concludes the family dinner. Leon calls out to Rosweiss, pointing out that the plate hasn't been cleaned, but she says to leave this to the maids. In return, Leon states that a perfect family dinner ends with the couple cleaning the plates. That is when he whispers, "Don't you want to create a harmonious family atmosphere around them?" Looking at them, Rosweiss notices how excited Moon is to this. Without hesitation, Rosweiss agrees, and that is when Moon raises her hand as she also wants to help. But Noah takes her away. Some time passes and we can see Rosweiss cleaning the dishes. Rosweiss wants to know when he will come and help. That is when he reminds her what he told her 2 years ago. "You should never be alone with a highly trained and strong dragon slayer." That is when the dragon mark on her chest lights up, prompting her to ask what he did. Leon explains that back in the forest he was exhausted, and that's why she was able to do whatever she wanted and control him by her dragon pattern. But now it's all different. Trying to hit him, she reminds him that he can't escape from here just by using tricks. Leon blocks her attack and says that this time he will not run away, and this is just a payback. Suddenly, Rosweiss's body starts to heat up, and he cannot stand anymore as her legs are shaking. Therefore, she falls down on the ground. "Are you unable to do anything, Her Majesty? The dragon pattern makes your tail extremely sensitive. When your tail is pinched, you are like a kitten being pinched by the back of the neck, weak and powerless." It turns out he discovered this knowledge from the Dragon Book. That is when he gets close to her, asking, "Rosweiss, you dragons are eager to conquer and control everything. But have you ever been conquered?" This makes her shocked as her cheeks blush red. "Let me conquer her." Rosweiss's heart is beating fast and she is breathing heavily. That is when she shyly requests him to let go of her tail. From the day Leon woke up, she trampled his dignity underfoot and treated it as a toy for her entertainment. So now Leon wants to switch things up. Leon wants her to be his toy for tonight. This kinda angers her as she says, "Leon, you bastard!" That is when they heard some noise from the outside. It turns out that the maids are going to clean. But when they open the doors, they are surprised to see it's already clean, making them wonder if the prince did it. It turns out that Leon and Rosweiss are hiding inside a door. Grabbing her mouth, Leon tells her to be quiet if she doesn't want to be discovered. He is sure of it that the queen, who is usually so high and mighty, doesn't want to be seen in her weak state being teased. "Or you like being watched while doing it?" Leon says. After some time, the maids leave. Rosweiss, who is so weak to fight back, gives a sharp look at Leon. Leon grabs her mouth and whispers to her ears, "Well done being silent and obeying my orders like a good girl. Let's get started, my dear wife." That is when Rosweiss gives off a defeated look as her cheeks blush red. Yes, readers, welcome to another chapter of things which we will never experience. 3 days later, Leon is still fast asleep. Yes, he hasn't woken up for 3 whole days. Noah casually kicks him in the face just to check if he's actually dead. That finally wakes Leon up, confused why anyone would treat their own father like that. Moon's eyes light up the moment she sees him awake, and she excitedly shouts to her mother that Dad has finally regained consciousness. Leon tries to recall when he even fainted. Rosweiss calmly offers to help him remember what happened that night. And that's when it hits him. After that night, his dragon pattern was forcefully nullified, and she beat the living hell out of him. In his mind, he curses how brutal this female dragon is. If he were just a normal person, he would have died multiple times. Still, he admits to himself she's absurdly beautiful. He zones out staring at her beauty so much that Moon asks why he isn't moving. Just then, she drops a hairpin. Leon picks it up and gently places it in her hair, commenting that it suits her perfectly. She didn't expect him to be this considerate and asks if he's done this for other women before. Leon casually replies that when he was a kid, he often combed his master's donkey's hair. Moon innocently asks what a donkey is. Leon explains, "Donkeys are similar to dragons. They're stubborn, kind of like your mother." Rosweiss immediately bursts a vein and smacks him. Moon quickly asks if he's okay. Leon says he's fine. Anyway, Rosweiss announces today's task. They'll be learning how to write their names, and their father will be the one teaching. Moon is overjoyed, while Noah already knows how to write. Excited, Moon grabs her sister and rushes to the study room. Before leaving, Rosweiss informs Leon that her sister is coming to visit today, and she doesn't want him showing up. Leon scoffs, asking if she refuses to let him meet her family. She replies that it's unnecessary, and if he ever does have to meet them, he'll have to play along with the identity she gave him. Once she exits, Leon smirks to himself, planning to embarrass her in front of her own sister. In the study room, Leon is writing their names on paper, then tells the girls to copy it and write it a few times. Noah comments that it doesn't look as good as their mother's handwriting, while Moon asks what he will do. Leon replies that he forgot to give something to their mother and tells them he'll be back later to check. After he leaves, Moon notices Noah looking unusually happy, though Noah quickly denies it. In truth, her cheeks are red just from looking at the paper Leon gave her. Moments later, the Red Dragon Queen, Isha Melkve, enters the castle. Rosweiss greets her with a hug, saying it has been a long time. Melkve agrees, then teasingly remarks that Rosweiss seems a lot more rosy than before. She immediately asks where Rosweiss's husband is, hearing that he woke up recently. Rosweiss awkwardly laughs and claims he's feeling unwell, so he won't be coming. Melkve huffs that she had wanted to meet the Dragon King who kidnapped her little sister. She goes on to say that bonding between dragon clans is usually just for profit and bloodline. There's never love involved, but in Rosweiss's case, they got married and had a baby at lightning speed, so the relationship must be excellent. Embarrassed, Rosweiss hurriedly insists that being married and having children doesn't mean their relationship is good. She is not attracted to him. Not now. Not in the future. Melkve just smiles, knowing Rosweiss is simply being her stubborn self. Rosweiss quickly drags her to the garden for some girly talk. Meanwhile, Leon is observing from afar with a smirk, wondering just how far the dragon pattern can reach. In the garden, Melkve mentions that the Red Dragon clan has been unstable lately. Rosweiss replies that the Red Dragon King hasn't been seen in years, but Melkve explains that he's a hot-tempered man who might just be preparing to expand his territory. All of a sudden, the dragon pattern activates. Melkve asks if she's all right. Rosweiss forces an awkward smile, insisting she's fine, while internally cursing Leon for activating it now of all times. Melkve continues, advising her to strengthen the border defenses just to be safe. But Rosweiss can't focus. With every passing second, the dragon pattern's effect is intensifying. Melkva notices her flushed cheeks and asks again if she's really okay because she looks red as a rose. Flustered and trembling, Rossweiss abruptly claims she has urgent business to attend to and will be back in 20 minutes, then dashes off. Melkva smirks to herself, instantly realizing it's the dragon pattern's effect, and concludes their relationship must be very lovey-dovey. Meanwhile, Leon is relaxing somewhere else, amused and wondering how long she can endure. Rossweiss kicks the door open and grabs him, furious that he chose this exact moment to activate the dragon pattern just to humiliate her in front of her sister. Leon feigns innocence, asking if it's wrong for him to simply desire her. She immediately turns bright red, steam practically blasting from her ears. Leon is satisfied. His trick worked. He assumes at least now she must feel disgusted by him. But we all know it's the opposite. Calling him shameless, she orders him to get rid of his dirty thoughts. Still flushed, she wonders why just a few words from him made her panic, when she came here precisely to put him in his place. She warns him that he's lucky this time, and next time she won't let him off so easily. Leon is delighted to learn that just one indecent line can make her completely helpless, confirming the overwhelming power of the dragon pattern. Yet, for some reason, when he thinks about her face, his heart starts beating faster. He smacks himself to snap back to reality. Meanwhile, the children are still waiting for him. Later that night, Melkva departs, shifting into her immense dragon form before vanishing into the night sky. She mentions that she expects to meet Leon next time. The moment her sister is gone, Rossweiss's expression turns dangerously calm. Revenge is clearly imminent. Far away, Leon randomly sneezes, as if fate itself has warned him. He successfully puts the children to sleep. He quietly steps out of the room, but Rossweiss is already waiting. She blocks his escape with a cold, terrifying grace. Judging by her expression, running would not improve his odds. He pretends to play dumb, but she doesn't bother entertaining it. Within seconds, she drags him to her bedroom. His punishment, according to her, is to wash her feet. Tired from the day and very much holding a grudge, she demands service. Leon instinctively protests at the absurdity. A dragon slayer reduced to this? But he has no say in the matter. He removes her shoes reluctantly, only to pause. Her feet are beautiful, unnaturally soft for someone who crushes enemies for a living. For a short moment, he actually forgets that she's terrifying. He wonders how many arrogant warriors have died beneath those elegant feet. Rossweiss notices the stare. Heat rushes to her ears. She almost suspects he might have some disgusting interests. Before she can say anything, he dips her foot into the bowl. It is too hot. She instantly kicks him in the face. She quickly realizes his true intention. He's trying to take revenge on purpose. In return, he reminds her who was the one that once let him wash her feet. Now she's really in the mood to teach him a lesson. Stepping on him, she slowly slides her foot down his body, her eyes glinting with mischief. She teases that he probably never imagined he'd end up being strapped down by a dragon. Pressing her foot against his sensitive spot, she makes him shiver uncontrollably. For Leon, it's both humiliating and strangely satisfying. With her foot still teasing his not-so-safe place, she takes her time, curious to see just how long he can endure such teasing. Leon tries to remain composed, but the tension is impossible to ignore. He grabs her leg and she demands to know what he's planning to do. In an instant, he bites her leg and she lets out a sharp cry, shouting that she'll kill him. Bro counterattacked AFJ by biting her ankles. What a play. Absolute domination. The next morning, the children wake to find Rossweiss with a bandage on her leg and Leon with a fresh bruise and a bandage on his face. Both deny everything. Moon squints suspiciously, and then with sparkles in her eyes, declares that next time, she wants to join whatever fun game they were playing without her. On a sunny day, Leon and Rossweiss are walking together in the garden. Two maids notice this and comment on how lovely they look, although one of them feels like they don't seem to be very familiar with each other. Leon wonders how it came to this. Sometime earlier, Rossweiss suddenly asked Leon to take a walk with her, and when he asked for the reason, she pointed out that it is also an important duty for him to maintain a false appearance of family harmony in front of others. And so, that leads to the present. However, Leon knows something is wrong with her because she usually isn't this proactive. The kids are spying on them, and Moon is disappointed in her dad for not being able to hold hands. Excited, Moon decides to help them, while her sister tries to stop her. Moon rushes over, grabs both of their hands, and says that when walking they should hold hands together. After that, she runs away, saying she will go play with her sister. Leon wonders where she even learned that from. Noah pinches her cheeks while she whispers that she won't do it again. Now, both Leon and Rosweiss are embarrassed. Leon says she is acting weirder than usual, to which she replies that it's just to show their relationship is good. To her, it seems that he has been tamed by her. She thinks aloud that she gets along with him more easily than before. Rosweiss has always carried the image of a queen in front of others, but he didn't expect her to be shaken by something as small as holding hands. He thinks that the image of a strict mother is simply because she doesn't know how to get close to her children. Leon points out how the kids call her mother. According to the normal way of calling, dad is always used with mom. Leon adds that Moon always calls him dad, but calls her mother. It sounds like she is more distant from her. Rosweiss asks if there is a big difference between mother and mom. With a bright smile, Leon says, "Of course. Why not try to get them to call you mom instead? I bet they will definitely be closer to you than they are now." This makes her blush red, and she starts walking faster while saying that she will try next time. Out of nowhere, she asks if he is homesick. Leon can't understand why she is suddenly asking this, to which she replies that she can't let him go home, but there is something that might help ease his homesickness a little. They arrive in front of the castle warehouse. She opens the door, and they enter. The room is filled with items. Leon notices a bracelet worth thousands of gold coins. She tells him that this bracelet was a gift from her grandmother when she was a child, and that there are some things here that are meaningful to her. Leon points out how he has never heard her talk about her family except her sister. It turns out she never saw her mother and father. She and her sister were raised by their grandmother. Leon thinks they are similar in this way, as he was an orphan who was later adopted by his master and his wife. Returning to the main subject, Leon asks why she brought him here. She says she wants to show him something that can temporarily make him forget his worries. She opens a chest, and Leon is shocked to find his black gold armor. Rosweiss knows that he always wanted to get this armor back, so she is returning it. However, the moment he touches the armor, the dragon mark engraved into it activates, making him realize it was all a trap. She gives a devilish smile, saying that he walked right into it. Leon asks what she is planning to do, so it turns out that she had already attached a dragon pattern to his armor. And the moment he touched it, the effect surged violently, making him collapse as he cursed himself for being too careless. With an evil, seductive smile, she leans in and informs him that the dragon pattern's power has now doubled. Holding his chin, whispering close, she taunts, "My dear dragon slayer, can you bear it?" before pushing him down as the effect overwhelms his body. He cannot move at all, yet the urge in his lower body is fiercer than ever. She gets on top of him, cheeks flushed, reminding him that she still holds a grudge for conquering her before, admitting that for the past few days she has been plotting revenge, waiting for the perfect moment to make him lower his guard, never expecting him to fall for it this easily. With a sly, slightly naughty smile, she asks how her acting was. Leon urgently asks if everything she said today was a lie. The part about never seeing her parents, about letting Moon call her mom. Was all of that acting too? She gently runs her finger down his cheek and whispers that everything she said was true, but that won't stop her from dealing with the little dragon inside his pants. As she slowly starts removing her clothes, she reminds him of when he once asked whether she likes to conquer. And tilting her head with a dominant grin, desire flickering in her eyes, she breathes against his ear, "Yes, I do love to conquer, especially you. Are you ready, my dear husband?" And then we can say the magic happened, with no doubt that Leon's little dragon is more than happy to be dominated. He needs to start training or else he will get drained. After a while, as the storm calms, Leon exhales in relief, only to notice her still staring at his face, prompting him to ask what she is doing. Leaning closer, she firmly holds his chin and observes how the scars on his face have faded, though he looks more worn, more seasoned, a man with the weight of life in his eyes. Realizing she is trying to provoke him again, he sits back and declares he will not fall for her tricks anymore. She laughs softly, amused that he has grown smarter, and while dressing back up, casually remarks that his health is not as good as before. His mind goes blank. The thought that his performance has declined hits harder than any magic, and he sinks into silent shock. It's like a toxic relationship, but a perfect one made in heaven. The next morning, Rosweiss knocks on his door, and Leon appears with dark circles under his eyes. She asks if he didn't sleep well, and he grumbles that it's all because of what she said. She simply smiles, pretending to not even remember, then reminds him that the Saint Academy entrance exam is strict, and that he should tutor Noah today, and leaning in with a teasing glint, adds that even if his little dragon's performance has declined, he can at least prove his worth in other areas for now. Fired up, Leon snaps back that she only got lucky yesterday, and vows to make Noah pass, but on the condition that he gets something of equal value from her. She is fine with it, as long as it isn't excessive, and as she leaves with a smile, she tells him to work very hard for that reward. After she exits, Noah asks why he quarreled with Mom, to which Leon replies, it's just their daily communication, but suddenly freezes when Noah clearly calls her Mom. Realizing Rosweiss must have told her to do so, Leon asks Noah if she prefers calling her Mom, and when she shyly confirms, turning away with flushed cheeks and asking when they will start studying, Leon's heart silently lights up, knowing that this made her happy. At the study room, Leon is studying hard when Rosweiss comes in, asking if he hasn't slept yet since it's already late. Noah has a strong ability to learn and comprehend, so simple teaching isn't suitable for her. That's why Leon is grinding through these books, preparing special lessons with key points and test questions for her. Leon says Noah is a very smart child, and he's confident that he can get her to pass the test within a month. Rosweiss smiles, saying she's sure Noah will pass. After all, the girl takes after her. Leon shakes his head, saying it's not necessarily true. He reminds her that he was once a genius who graduated with the highest scores in history, both in written and practical exams every year. Rosweiss blinks in surprise. She always thought Leon was just a reckless man who only knew how to fight and kill. She didn't expect him to be a top student. Caught off guard, she quickly changes the topic, asking teasingly, "If you were that powerful, then how did you end up as my prisoner?" Leon sighs, sulking as he mutters how one mistake can lead to eternal regret. "A tiger in troubled times is bullied by a dragon," he says quietly. With a mischievous smile, Rosweiss leans closer and whispers, "So, are you afraid of being ridden by a dragon?" Her tone drips with playful mockery. She notices a jar of chili peppers on the table and curiously asks what he plans to do with them. Leon picks one up and pops it in his mouth, saying he's preparing himself. Rosweiss widens her eyes. "Idiot! That's dragon spice. It's not for humans." Almost instantly, Leon's face turns red and flames burst out from his mouth. He runs around the room, panicking as his tongue burns like fire. Rosweiss bursts out laughing, but quickly grabs his cheeks with her icy hands to calm him down. "There, stay still," she says softly. "My hands are cold. It'll help." Leon freezes. Her touch is cool yet oddly comforting. The gentle coldness isn't sharp like ice. It feels soothing, almost sensual. Both of them blush as their eyes meet. For a moment, the room grows awkwardly quiet, the air thick with something unspoken. So it's basically, say that you're in love without saying that you're in love. Rosweiss steps back quickly and turns around. "Go to bed early," she says, trying to sound firm. "And don't eat too much chili or you'll have to teach Noah in sign language." Leon chuckles nervously, watching her leave. Deep down, he secretly wishes she'd touched his face a little longer, but he quickly snaps out of it, reminding himself that she's an evil dragon who once tricked him into a small corner, drained him completely, and then laughed, saying he didn't have enough strength to satisfy her. Just remembering that makes Leon's heart pound. He clenches his fist and mutters under his breath, "I'll definitely take revenge next time. I'll make her beg for mercy." His mind runs wild. He imagines conquering her fiery pride, making her surrender in his arms, taking her to heaven with pleasure until she screams his name. Determined, Leon dives back into his books, searching for a way to make his body stronger. Eventually, he finds a page describing a special medicine that can help restore stamina and enhance power. A sly grin forms on his face. "Perfect," he whispers. The next day, Noah takes the test that Leon prepared. When he asks what score she expects, she replies, maybe 50. But it turns out to be 62, higher than she thought. Though she isn't satisfied, Leon can see the spark in her eyes. He pats her head gently, saying she did a pretty good job for her first try. Noah blushes slightly and thanks him, her heart warming at his gentle praise. As he's about to explain her mistakes, Leon suddenly coughs. His throat still burns. It turns out he ate a few more dragon peppers last night to cheer himself up, and now his throat is paying the price. Noah blinks and remembers what her mother told her that morning. "Your dad stayed up all night making your study plan. That unreliable man is actually a top student. He even ate dragon peppers to stay awake. No wonder his throat's ruined." Smiling faintly, Noah hands him a small box of sweets, saying, "Mom told me to give this to you?" Leon chuckles, thanking her and asking her to thank her mother for him. As he watches Noah's calm, serious expression, Leon realizes that she's actually just like Rosweiss, cold and composed on the outside, but warm and gentle inside. With that thought, he smiles softly as they continue studying, their bond growing closer, just like his unspoken bond with the woman who still lingers in his thoughts, the dragon who both burned and chilled his heart. In the kitchen, the maids bring bundles of herbs that Leon had requested earlier. It turns out he's on a personal mission to create that special medicine he read about. The ingredients look common, and the preparation steps seem simple enough, yet something about it feels trickier than expected. Even the book mentions that even the best pharmacists rarely succeed. Leon carefully follows each instruction. The room fills with the earthy scent of boiling herbs and the faint glow of magic. After an hour of concentration, he finally reaches the last step: purification and separation. But once again, he fails. The mixture turns black and bubbles over. He sighs deeply, running a hand through his hair. He's followed the formula word for word, yet the last step refuses to go right. The temperature needs to be exact, and shaking it manually doesn't seem to achieve proper separation. Leon mutters to himself, "There's gotta be another way." He recalls his master's words echoing in his mind. If one way doesn't work, find another. Just then, thunder rumbles outside, lightning splitting the night sky. The sudden flash gives Leon an idea. He grins. Lightning instead of fire. He remembers reading that electrolysis could increase purification success. And since lightning magic is his specialty, he decides to give it a try. Focusing his recovered power, he channels precise lightning into the cauldron. Sparks crackle as energy flows through the mixture. The air hums with power. When the light fades, the liquid settles, crystal clear with a faint golden glow. He's done it. Before he can celebrate, a cheerful voice interrupts. "Whoa, what are you making, Dad?" Leon almost jumps out of his chair. Moon stands at the doorway, eyes shining with curiosity. He quickly hides the vial behind his back. "Ah, nothing. Just something small," Moon tilts her head, smiling. "Is it candy?" Leon chuckles awkwardly. "No, it's medicine for your mother. She's been working too hard lately, so I thought she could use a little nourishment." The truth, of course, is the opposite. It's for himself, but he keeps that thought buried behind a polite smile. Moon beams and says innocently, "That's nice. You should take good care of Mom." Leon laughs softly. "Don't worry. I'll definitely take care of her." But in his mind, his care carries an entirely different meaning. Not quite the safe and wholesome kind his daughter imagines. Once his body fully recovers, he plans to give Rosweiss a kind of attention that'll make her beg for mercy. Later that night, Leon sits in his room, turning the vial in his hand, the golden liquid swirling like molten fire. He wonders if it's safe for humans. "Maybe it'll work, maybe not," he mutters. "If it blows up in my face, I'll just heal somehow." Suddenly, a familiar voice cuts through the quiet. "So, this is the medicine you made for me?" Leon jumps. Rosweiss stands by the door, her arms crossed, an unreadable smile on her face. He forces a laugh. "Ah, Moon told you, huh?" "She did," Rosweiss replies, stepping closer, her tone teasing. "I'm quite surprised. I didn't expect you to be skilled enough to make medicine in such a simple environment." Leon awkwardly scratches his neck. Well, I try my best. Show it to me, she says calmly. Leon hesitates. He knows if he refuses, she'll just take it by force, probably with a smirk on her face while doing it. So he sighs and hands it over. Rosweiss inspects the vial, her sharp eyes gleaming in the lamplight. This is Dragon Grade Force, she murmurs in awe. You actually succeeded in making this, and in such conditions. For once, she doesn't laugh or taunt him. Instead, she smiles with genuine admiration. You've done well. Her unexpected praise leaves Leon speechless. He stares, stunned, as warmth floods his chest. She then hands it back, saying, You can keep it, but don't drink it yet. Why not? Leon asks, frowning. It's meant for dragons, she explains. The power inside would overwhelm your human body. You won't handle it. Leon smirks. You're underestimating me again. I'm not an ordinary human. Before she can stop him, he pops the cork and drinks it in one go. Rosweiss's eyes widen in shock. Idiot! Do you have a death wish? She rushes to him, ready to use healing magic. I hardly ever use healing spells. Don't make me regret this. Are you okay? Leon's body tenses as the potion surges through him, hot electric energy flooding every nerve. His vision brightens. Instead of pain, he feels power. He exhales slowly, a confident grin spreading across his face. I'm better than okay. So, will it work the same as a strong Viagra? If so, she'd better prepare for a few more children. Then the whole room fills with light as lightning surges through his body. She looks at him in awe, wondering what the heck he's doing using lightning magic on himself. All of a sudden, Leon's strength fades, and he's about to collapse when she catches him just in time. Laying him on the bed, she turns to call for a doctor. But before she can move, Leon suddenly grabs her tail. Startled, she blurts out, What the heck are you doing? Rubbing her tail against his face, Leon murmurs, Wife, where are you going? Embarrassed and blushing like crazy, she stammers, Well, who are you calling wife? But Leon keeps fondling her tail even as she tries to pull away. Acting like a playful child, he refuses to let go. Her eyes narrow, a drop of sweat rolling down her cheek. She definitely didn't expect this outcome. Dragon Grace Force should only strengthen the body. It shouldn't cause delirium. She suspects the lightning element altered the effect. But since he looks more like a harmless idiot than someone in danger, she decides he'll probably be fine for now. Leon, completely out of his mind, keeps repeating the word, wife. She sighs, sits beside him, and gently asks, What do you want, Leon? I want a second child, wife, he says out of nowhere, completely catching her off guard. Her cheeks flare crimson. With a flustered pout, she scolds, You haven't even taken proper care of the two from your first pregnancy, and now you want another? Absolutely not. But Leon insists like a stubborn kid begging for a toy. To avoid unnecessary trouble, she decides to just play along until he regains his senses. Fine, she says with a teasing smirk. Then let's have not just a third child, but maybe a fourth and fifth too. He also asks her to go back to his hometown, to which she agrees. He beams happily, like a child who finally got what he wanted. Whereas she finds him more annoying than his usual self. Leon leans forward for a kiss, but she quickly blocks him. He still tries to push closer, so without thinking, she punches him and shouts, Idiot! Immediately feeling guilty, she leans over and asks softly, Are you okay? Leon groans, saying he feels strange, his chest burning and an odd heat spreading through his lower body. The dragon mark on her suddenly glows, making her freeze. Why now of all times? She wonders. She starts to open his shirt, but before she can, Leon flips her over and pins her down. You bastard, she gasps. What the hell do you think you're doing? I can't hold it anymore, Leon growls, his voice trembling. My whole body's itching for you. Realization strikes her. The medicine and the dragon pattern must have mixed, amplifying his desire beyond control. He nuzzles against her, playing with her tail again. Your tail smells so good, he whispers. Flustered, she protests. Don't say that. My tail's been dragging on the ground all day. How can you even... He hushes her with a finger against her lips. You're so beautiful tonight, he murmurs, his eyes soft but burning with longing. Her heart races. She feels herself giving in, secretly craving his warmth, wanting to be held, to be cherished. Leon whispers, "You'll help me, right? You and my little dragon?" She hesitates, then nods. "Only this once?" And with that, he pulls her close, into his embrace, into a storm of emotion and heat, ready to conquer the naughty little kitty. She ain't even resisting, goddamn. Bro just can't admit that they're perfect for each other's. Enemies to lovers, plot. I guess it's another day for us being lonely.